Hey guys, how's it going? Eli here, back with another video where today we're going to be having a fun conversation about some massive news going on with PSA, as well as some exciting news to announce with PokemartUSA. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So for those of you that don't know, I was on vacation for the past week for the 4th, so I'm finally back. We're back in business, baby, and as expected, thankfully, we had a ton of news that happened with Pokemon, so I'm really excited to really jump into things today. However, before we do such things, gotta get out of the way. We are resuming the weekly giveaways. All you have to do to enter is be subscribed, leave a like, comment down below on any of the 3 videos we post each and every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Of course, as well, we're going to be resuming our Tuesdays and Thursdays live streams. And on top of that, you have 3 opportunities to enter since you can comment and like on any of the pre-recorded videos. And then 3 winners are each going to be receiving 10 Pokemon Go booster packs. But now that we've gotten that part of the way, let's talk about some PokemartUSA news that I actually wanted to make an announcement for that I'm super excited about before we start talking about what's going on with PSA. So, PokemartUSA has decided that we're going to be coming out, and we've been in the works for this for a while, super stoked, but we've decided that we're going to come out with our own variations of the mystery pack prize things that, you know, you see Chloe, you see a lot of these other big PokeTubers do. And so we're going to come out with our own basic variation of that. They're going to be starting at $39.99 is going to be the price in which you're going to be able to get them for. So we are well below any of our competitors. So we're going to be the cheapest you'll be able to find them at. One thing I do want to keep in mind as we go over this template with you right now, these packs are not the only packs that you can get. So for example, I had someone the other day tell me, Eli, I saw that with the red you can get a Cosmic, a Hidden, Unified Minds, and a Lost Thunder. I really wish I'd be able to get such things as like a Shining Legends. Well, you'll be able to get a Shining Legends under this. So you'll be able to get basically any pack within the Sun and Moon era that is valued at least $10 or greater. We're making sure that we're weeding out all the garbage ones, and on top of that as well, you'll be able to get any sort of the XY era packs for the red tier, whether it be, you know, anywhere between that kind of $10 to 20-ish plus dollar range. So making sure that we give that variety. If you want to win yourself a Shining Legends pack, you can. We'll have evolutions in the red tier. We'll have a bunch. We'll have Lost Origins, or sorry, Ancient Origins in the red tier. So as far as it goes, this is just a template for some of the pack prizes that you could win. So basic template is going to be for blue. You're going to get any sort of the basic ETB collection variation packs. So, you know, if it didn't have a booster box, you have a chance of winning that in the blue. The red, it's going to basically be all of the more high-end or more expensive Sun and Moon packs, and the, you know, middle of the road expensive XY packs. Silver is going to be the high-end expensive XY packs, and then any of the black and white packs, except for, of course, any of the garbage ones, which I absolutely hate, because how I like to look at this is I want this to be a mystery pack that I myself would want to open, right? So I know that if I opened a red pack and I got a Crimson Invasion or a Steam Siege, unless your name is Tyrone, you're going to be pissed. Shout out to him for always memeing that. And then same thing goes with, you know, if I were to go in with the silver pack, right? And I were to get, oh my goodness gracious, what's the pack? Emerging Powers. Yes, if I were to get Emerging Powers one, I'd be pissed. So the pack variety is going to be, it's going to be really good pack variety that you guys are going to have the opportunity to win. So I know for a fact some of the packs that are going to be included in this upcoming one, we're going to have for silver, you could win a Legendary Treasures, you could win some Plasma Freeze, some Phantom Forces, some Flash Fire. So we're going to have a good variety. But how we're going to do this is I'm going to put up pre-orders for this. And then not this upcoming Sunday, but the following Sunday, what we're actually going to do is we're going to do a live break for our first initial 50 mystery packs. You'll be able to keep all the cards, and if you do pull a silver or gold, you'll have the option to keep it sealed if you want for us to ship to you. But the reason why we want our first initial wave, or our beta wave, to be kind of a break is we want people to have the opportunity to come in and see what you could win. See that everything we're doing, it's full odds, everything is legit. Here's the packs that you could potentially win, so that once we go into the alpha phase where we do have, more than just our initial 50 wave, you're going to be able to then have the confidence to come in and then us ship it to you and know that you're going to have the odds of pulling these specific packs or greater within our own tier system. So super excited. We think this is probably the best value you're going to be able to find anywhere on the internet right now, especially considering we're massively undercutting our competitors and you're able to get a lot of really good value. So I'm super excited about it. I'll make a further announcement on it shortly here within the next day or two on the Discord as well as the email thread for those people that are a part of that. You can sign up on our website, but just a huge announcement that I'm really excited. So hope you guys are excited and interested in that. But like I said, it's going to be $39.99. So I mean, it's going to be pretty hard to beat those prices compared to everywhere else, considering the packs that you're going to be able to win. But now that we've got our PokemartUSA news out of the way, we're going to jump into the main topic for the day, which, oh my goodness, we have so many things to catch up on, so I have to be smart about this. But the first thing we're going to be really having a conversation about today is what's happening with PSA. So for those people that don't know, this is happening right now because I myself am participating in this deal. But PSA has announced they're dropping their card prices for July down to $18 a piece. Now, for those of you who have been following me for a while now, one of the biggest things that I have basically talked to people is I said, when it dropped down to 30, I said that, it's not necessarily a bad price to get in. I said that for myself, I had a couple of cards that I had picked off to the side. And basically I said, if I run out of my membership by the time, or I'm about to run out of my membership by the time, if it stays at 30, so I have about 120 days on my membership, and I said, all right, within those 120 days, for myself personally, if it doesn't drop from then I'll go in for it, because it seems worth it at that point for my best cards. But for general, ultra modern cards, I talked to you guys, said it's not really worth it unless you're sending in more expensive, higher end cards. With that being said, we had said, or I specifically had talked about saying, hey, so my prediction is you're going to at least see a drop to 25. I think 20 is likely, but probably not until sometime the end of the year. And I said that, $15 at this point is extremely unlikely, and $10 is a pipe dream. Now, with that being said, the fact of the matter that I said if we were to get $20, it would be more than likely the end of this year, and we're in the middle of this year, and they just announced $18, which is, $2 below 20, I've now completely changed my sentiment in regards to the prices that we could potentially see with PSA. Now, granted, this is a July special, so who knows how this is going to necessarily last, but all I can tell you is this is extremely exciting news because you're talking about nearly a 50% drop from that $30 price point. I love this price point. I know for myself, I went from saying I could potentially, grade 30 to 40 of my cards I was going to send in. Now I'm potentially looking at sending in 300 to 400 of my cards. I might still initially only send in 100 or 200 just in case they decide to drop it to $15 or less. But as far as it goes right now, I'm honestly at the point where I'm like, yo, this is extremely cheap. This is an opportunity I myself want to jump in on. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but one of my biggest sentiments that I've really been talking about for those people that are into, ultra modern grading was I said to myself, listen, when you're telling me that the difference between a 9 and a 10 is anywhere between $30 to $50, your margins are not the best, especially considering that, if hypothetically more people were to send it in for grading, it's going to end up, biting you in the butt if you did end up getting a 9. Drop the grading price by nearly 50%, that changes things. Now, do I still think that it's not the best idea, in my personal opinion, to basically go in and, still grade ultra modern in mass bulk using PSA prices? Yeah, no, of course. I still haven't changed that sentiment. And the reason for that specifically just ultimately comes down to the fact of the matter that I am just thinking that when you have that kind of cross between PSA 10 prices and the price to grade 9s compared to what the actual price is for raw, it just doesn't make any sense to me as to why that would be something that would be of any value if the price of raw eventually overlaps the price of PSA 9. And now that's not to say, of course, this couldn't drastically change over time, and eventually the price of raw will, drop a lot greater. But as we talked about in some of my older videos, I won't give the example now because we're on short time. But for a lot of the examples I gave, specifically some of the Evolving Skies cards, we saw that a lot of the 9s were valued slightly greater than, if not around the same exact price of the raw cards. And so, you had like room for error for 30 to 50 bucks, depending upon which one we're talking about here. And so this, of course, gives you a little bit of breathing room to where you can come in and grade these cards and potentially get these, 9s and still feel like, all right, well, I didn't exactly lose a ton of money. However, the general fear still with that is the aspect of, okay, well, let's say everyone has the same strategy you do. You're going in, sending your cards in for 18 bucks, and you're saying to yourself, wow, my margins are now so much better. I can potentially make, if I get a 9, anywhere between $30 to $50 gross. Like, we're not even talking about what the actual fee charges you're going to be putting up for yourself when you're selling on, eBay, or if you're going in and trying to undersell at market value off of like a Facebook marketplace. And so for me, the risk to reward for Ultramodern, it's still not there, personally speaking, unless you can send in a bunch of 10s and guarantee to yourself to send in 10s, or you're saying to yourself, I'm just wanting to send in my cards to begin with because I just want to send in my cards, then there's an argument to be made on why $18 is great. But if you're saying I'm trying to send in a large amount of these, like bulk grading them, I think you could potentially say a huge market crash in regards to a lot of these Ultramodern prices, especially considering with Evolving Skies product with a reprint around the corner. You're saying to yourself, all right, you already have a bunch of people that have been sitting on the sideline with a lot of their cards ready to grade. You've got an expectation that you're going to get a decent sized reprint, or small to decent, I should say, just to be careful, in August. I don't see why the price of PSA cards for Evolving Skies, other sort of Shield era sets, as well as these raw cards, aren't going to now start to just absolutely tank because of this. Because I gotta imagine there's still a pretty decent general size demand for $18, especially considering when you factor in inflation. The prior high of kind of what the expensive, like what the deals were before everything closed down, it was like $9 to $10 is what you're talking about, right? Add inflation in the mix, I think $15 to maybe $12 to $15 is probably going to be your new base. But the only reason why I can come up with that price and saying I don't think we'll ever go back to 9 or 10 is because unless there's an exorbitant amount of demand, they're gonna have to pay people more to be graders because the price of everything has gone up so much, and so inflation is going to tax onto what the base, whatever it ends up being, price is long term for PSA cards. Who knows? It could eventually go down cheaper. I mean, we've seen deals as low as $7.50, $5 back in the day for those people that have been around for a while for PSA, but we're obviously in a different time now, so there's no way of truly telling how low it could truly go at this point. But I think $18 is a really strong point to feel confident on wanting to jump in on this. But as far as older cards go, I mean, honestly, this is great. This is an amazing price. If you're sending in a lot of cards like myself that you feel like could get 9s, 10s, and let's say, Sun and Moon era, XY era, Black and White. I mean, honestly, anything that's older than Ultramodern. I mean, you're talking about a pretty good price. However, there's a caveat with that. Hidden Fates, of course, is a highly, populated set. So basically, anything outside of these already high populated sets that are kind of on the back end of, supplied, like Cosmic Eclipse, for example. You're probably going to see a huge pop increase with those cards, considering we've still had a lot of, Cosmic product pop up in some boxes and so on and so forth. Then on top of that, with Hidden Fates having multiple reprints not that long ago. So when you talk about some of these, older Sun and Moon era sets, and then of course XY and older, $18 is great. Now, of course, the surcharge is going to be a little different. It's a $200 is the value charge that you're going to be able to get at max. For those people that don't know what value charge means, basically, if your card ends up getting graded, let's say a 10, and in its 10 value, it's worth $400, they're going to charge you a bonus fee on top of that. But if it grades a 10 or a 9 and the value of it is under $200, then you're not going to get charged an extra fee. So really something to consider. But I personally like to just send it in when there are these kind of special prizes, because I'm not really because I'm not really in a rush. And if I don't get charged a fee, then great. I won't have to be charged it, and if I do, then great, my card's worth more. Versus if it's the other way around and you're, let's say, paying $50 and your card could potentially be worth $500, but also could be potentially worth $200. I'd much rather wait the extra time sending it in for less, on the off chance that I'm going to waste another $30 of margin, which will be huge at the end of the day if it doesn't get the grade that I want it to get, So just some things to really take into consideration. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I think this is huge news. I think this is really exciting news for the future of, Pokemon card grading. I think you're going to start to see a large influx of, large population reports to come in the Sword and Shield era relatively soon here. So absolutely massive news, to say the least. Now, the next and final piece of news for the day. This actually dropped today, so really excited. People have, for the longest time been waiting for something like this, and of course, a lot of people thought it was initially going to be a scam, and because there were so many reports of quote-unquote fakes for this specific card to be released. For those who don't already know what I'm talking about, yes, it is officially happening. The Pokemon Center Celebration Special Delivery Charizard has been announced. So for those people that want to know the exact details of it, you can read right here. Celebration launch at the Pokemon Center UK. They're going to be doing a special for those people, basically submitting your information to receive a one-time use code that can be redeemed for Pokemon TCG card featuring special delivery Charizard with an eligible purchase totaling $20, before taxes, Canada, GBP, and all other forms of currency. So extremely exciting news. To request a code, please submit your first name and last name, mailing and email address for eligibility purposes. Of course, if you use, if you try and cheat the system, they said they'll disqualify you. We'll see how that kind of happens, because you know how people are going to be. There's always going to be scammers. But basically, codes will be distributed to eligible entrants within 12 weeks of entry. Some entrants may receive their codes before or after other entrants. This is intentional and designed to give our shipping partners ample time to fulfill each request. So basically, we're going to be doing this until the end of the year. Super duper excited about this. I've been talking with some other people about this. The expectation is that this is more than likely going to be one of the biggest printed things that you're ever going to see in regards to specialty cards, because of the demand that they're expecting for it. However, one of the biggest issues that I am seeing right now currently out the gate, once again, shout out to our mod Raheem for always keeping us updated on a lot of these things. It looks as if there's a lot of people that are trying to cheat the system. So people have been using, of course, scripts by clicking a button, making hundreds of Gmail accounts with Google Voice setup, then autofilling it. Here's an image that was taken not that long ago. As you can see, hundreds of entry levels using bots. So, it just makes it kind of tough, because you're really hoping that the Pokemon Company is going to be able to combat around this. It's definitely concerning that you're seeing stuff like this still happen. I myself opted in. If I get it, great. I'll be super excited about it. If not, I'm not willing to pay these secondhand market prices to these scalpers that basically, I'm not saying all people are scalpers. Some people are just like, oh, I got my one card and I just want to sell it, right? But, there's going to be people trying to cheat the system. So we'll definitely hope to see that eventually. This is just a hope, of course, no guarantee that the Pokemon Company will be able to come in and address something like this. So, because this is, a unique way in which they're going about distributing it. They're trying to find the most efficient method about doing it, because of a ton of complaints compared to the time in which you had the special delivery Pikachu and Bidoof. So those two cards, you've had complaints on how they approached it. So, who knows at the end of the day what's going to happen in the future. But either way, I'm still excited that we at least have an announcement for this card. And, they're going to be spreading it out over a period of, until the end of the year. So really hoping that you guys, as well as myself, will have the opportunity to really get the chance to own this card. But As far as it goes, those were the kind of two big pieces of news. I have a lot of other news that I'm going to talk about on Wednesday, a lot of big news we're going to talk about on Friday. So I am really excited to be talking about that. I'll give you guys a little bit of a teaser on that right now. But first, let's do the wrap up on what, of course, the main topic is for the day. Main two topics: Special Delivery Charizard is released. Go onto the website. You should be able to find a link that allow you to opt in. Just put in your personal information, and then hopefully you'll be entered in to potentially get sent a code that will allow you to, after you've spent $20, have it shipped to you. Second important piece of information and news, of course, is your $18 card July National Special for PSA cards. Of course, the card value at best can be worth over $200. Or less than, it has to be less than 200, but as I've mentioned before, it's still worth it sending in cards that could potentially worth more than that in case they do get a lower grade than anticipated. And then, of course, lastly, just giving a little bit of teaser for what Wednesday is going to look like. Wednesday, we're going to be having a conversation about some exciting, potentially early Evolving Skies reprint news that is happening this month, and as well as some old supply of product that has popped up on the market. So this might actually be some mind-blowingly big news. I'll talk to you guys about that on Wednesday, and then Friday we're going to be doing a little bit of a final review, as Lost Abyss is going to be officially revealed and released on Friday in Japan. So those are going to be our two topics for the week. So if you're really excited about hearing either news points for that, I would definitely say stay tuned for Wednesday and Friday's videos. But as always, want to enter into our weekly giveaways, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and be subscribed to the YouTube channel. We post content each and every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for you to enter in on, as well as 3 opportunities to win. So as far as it goes, that is all I have for today's video. It's good to be back, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm excited to see and talk to you all on tomorrow's live stream at, as always, 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. Peace.